Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today we're going to answer a subscriber's question. I hope she's a subscriber. Yesterday, Sharon left a comment on my last Harry and Meghan video. And the question was, would I read on whether or not Harry has gone into rehab after the Invictus Games? And I thought that was a very, very interesting and curious question. And perhaps one that kind of eluded us, because when Meghan left Canada, out you go, shoo, little flea. It was the 13th of February, I believe, and then the 14th was Valentine's Day, and I have heard rumors, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, that Harry spent the day drinking his face off. Now, there's no evidence of that, just kind of reports coming out of Invictus of like, he needed rest from this woman. Yeah, we all do. We all do. Take a nap. Take a nap, son. Take a nap. So I thought that was a really interesting question, and I decided to break out my What's the Tea tarot deck or oracle deck, and then we've, of course, got this month's deck on the table today. That video where this comment was on, I can't believe it. It blew my mind. There's thousands of views. My videos usually get 30 to 50 views. I thought it would be years before I saw the kind of numbers I saw this week on that video. So thank you to every single person who watched it. Every single person who watched it to the end. Yeah, thank you for the watch hours. And who left a comment. There was so many incredible conversations there. There's over 100 comments on it, which normally I get 0. I don't know why, because it's a free space for everybody to speak their mind. I don't know why no one will, but there's over 100 comments there. I've done my best to reply to every single comment. If I have missed yours, please, please, please don't take it personally. Just give me a little nudge. Because there was so many comments, and the way that they get laid out on YouTube, sometimes it's a little bit hard to catch up with all of them. Pro tip, when you look at your comments on your own videos, if you are also a content creator, switch the filter to newest, and that will show you all the comments instead of just the top comments. Because people are like, why am I not seeing the comments? It's because your filter is not set to newest comments. And then that way you can see it. So I keep having to change that setting so that I can see everybody's comments and actually answer everybody. So thank you to everybody who has participated in that and continues to participate on it, because my mind is blown. It was the most beautiful gift that you all gave me this week. I'm so grateful for every single person there. So of course, when somebody is going to say, hey, can you read on XYZ? I'm going to seriously consider it. I'm going to seriously think about it. Somebody asked me to read on a Canadian politician, and I've been kind of pondering it. I don't think I will, only because it's so obvious what's going on. It's, you know what I mean? So if you have a really, really interesting question, then I'm going to read on it. And Sharon came forward with, did Harry go to rehab? So we're going to look at that. We're going to have a wee peek. We're going to check these two decks. I've got my tokens here, and I have my charms. So we'll see what we end up using. And if you want, I'm just, you know what, this is my shameless promotion of myself here. If you would like to book your own private reading, just go into the description. All my links are there. The tip jar. I have my eye on a little deck that I want to put on the table here for all of us to get to enjoy and dive deep onto things. If there's enough tips in my tip jar at the end of February, then I'm going to grab that deck and have it shipped to me so we can use it in March. My Patreon is there. My Facebook is there. All my links are there. So please, let's keep the momentum going, shall we? Let's keep it going. So first things first, excuse me. And yes, I'm still a little bit sick, but not nearly as sick. I'm 99% better now. I just have a little cough every once in a while because it's a little bit dry here. So this is the What's the Tea deck. I did give it a really good shuffle before I turned on the camera. And I know that was a long preamble to get to it, but We're all here together having a great little party, aren't we? So we're good. We're good. We are good. And if you're still listening, thank you. Thanks for sticking around. I don't know why people log off after like 3 minutes or whatever. It's like, get to the end of the video and get the answers you were looking for. There we go. Okay, so we're going to give this deck a little cut and let's see what comes out. Let's just see. This is the first time using the deck here on the channel. So we'll see what we get. Groupie. Yeah, a lot of groupies. Yeah. So, you know, we have the Sussex squad is the Sussex squad is I think they may be starting to kind of open their eyes a little bit. I saw one of them actually film a video basically saying she's messed up. So I don't know. That's Meghan. That's messed up, not the person who created the content. Groupies. We saw Harry with that woman at Invictus, the blonde woman, who is way more his type. I mean, look at all the girls he dated before he met Meghan. The picture that we saw of this woman he was with at Invictus, and didn't she give him like a bracelet or something? I don't know. I haven't got all the intel on that, but certainly it looked interesting, didn't it? She may be a groupie, or she could just be a random attendee who ended up being friendly with the person next to her. She might not even have known who he was, because there's a great chance of that. There's a great chance of that. But yeah, I wonder what the groupie situation is here. I'm going to pull some tokens on that one in a bit. Running. Yeah. Is he running away? Did he run away to rehab? Is it his first stint in rehab? Does anybody know? If you know whether or not he was in rehab before, let me know in the comments. But it would be, you know, we see this a lot with celebrities who, like, a lot of stuff is about to come out about them, and they go into rehab or they go to the spa to rest because they've got stress. And yeah, he could have just thought, you know what, no one can get access to me in a treatment center, so I can hide there for a little while. He might be running away from the whole situation, especially with this rebrand, relaunch of the rebrand of the rebrand of the rebrand of the rebrand. You know what I mean? How many rebrands are we going to get? I saw a video this morning where like a journalist or commentator or somebody was saying, like, you know, I have a rule about press releases. You only get so many. And after a while, I just don't care anymore. I won't even bother with them. So this is, you know, kind of what's going on there. But he could be, he could be hiding. If he's not in treatment, he's somewhere hiding from all of it, because the Invictus was a disaster for both of them. Really, not a good look at all. Not a good look in their head. Yeah. Oh, stress. Yeah, we could be going down the path of that he went to treatment for arrest, not necessarily for alcoholism or drugs or anything like that. But I can imagine, imagine if you were him, really. You'd be overthinking, stressed, and overanalyzing too, because there has to be a moment in this man's life where he's kind of starting to see it. I've been saying since last year, when he left in September after his 40th birthday, I think that once people got him away from Montecito and on his own, they were able to kind of give him a good talking to and make him see some truths. So the issue is that even if he does see the truth and he is aware now, his eyes are wide open to the whole situation, there's not a lot that he can do. Because this story about these children will have to become very exposed in public if he divorces her, because people would be like, well, where's the child custody thing? Like, what's the arrangement? Why are children in the line of succession being hidden still? Well, you know, because you'd think, like, all the other royal children, we see them. And we see them so much that they're not being, like, hounded and stalked and followed. Like, they don't get followed to school. That was a rule that was made back, I think back in the 80s, when William and Harry were born and they were going off to school, that the royal family made with the media that the children are off limits until they graduate high school, I guess, or university. I can't remember what the timeline was. But all their fear of like, oh, you got pictures of my children. No, maybe one or two when you first get to England, whatever. But people would expect that he would be there in England with his children and taking them to school and everything else. So all their thing about like, oh my God, they're going to take pictures of our children. Yeah. And then they're going to get bored. That's why we don't see the school drop off for the Wales children every single day. We don't see pictures of Princess Catherine doing her weekly, shop and going to the cafe and whatever. We don't see any of that because it's boring, and that's not what makes the money for the photographers, for the paparazzi and things like that. Plus, also too, I don't think that the Waleses call the media ahead of time to say, hey, I'm going down to, whatever grocery shop to buy, stuff for our barbecue this weekend. Meet me there. But Meghan was doing that. We know that because paparazzi doesn't just hang around waiting for you. They go where they get the tips. And the best way to get a tip is from the person who wants to be photographed. So, all of that, it was a long way to say, he's got so much on his mind. I would not be surprised to find out he checked into a spa for some rest. Wasting time. Stuck. He's stuck. Absolutely, he is stuck. He's limited in his choices and no changes. I don't know that he can make any decisions for himself at this point. Not that he's not capable. I mean, they make decisions. They're not good decisions. They don't have good outcomes, but he probably feels like he can't get out of this. And as somebody said in the comments of the last video, he would have to then, it would be a huge admission. So I'm trying to say so much in one sentence. It would be a huge admission that his family was right the entire time. And that's a lot of crow to try to choke down in one sitting. So, I don't know. See, I think there's something else going on here. The woman, even if it's nothing, it still looks like something. And you know that Meghan would be out of her mind. Out of her mind. Out of her mind. Car issues. If I was going to read this like a tarot deck, I would say this is the Chariot. Let's look up the Chariot timing, since we can. Since we can. It's June, it's Cancer season, June 21st to July 21st. So, yeah. I don't know what the date means. Nothing's coming in on that date. It's just there. That's when, could you imagine if he locked himself in treatment till the summer? Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's pull one more. Fishing for comments. Fishing for comments. He might be looking for someone to just tell him what to do. He could, he lived his whole life with other people making the decisions for him. And he, in terms of going into treatment or the spa, he might just be waiting for somebody to take him by the hand and say, listen, it's time. It's time to start the exit strategy, and we start with getting you out of the limelight and with no access. So, yeah, let's see. We're going to pull a bunch of cards here. Because of my setup, I'm not going to do it as the actual, it's a 9-card reading, which would normally be, but we're just going to go across because just the way my thing is set up. When I start filming things like on a streaming software and get that all set up, then maybe it will look different, but for the moment, this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to look at 9 different cards and see, oh, you know what I meant to do was keep that other card out, groupie, because we wanted to know a bit more about the groupie situation. So we'll keep that out. We'll pull some charms and stuff on it later. Okay, so the present situation, feeling exceptionally overburdened by everything, and also realizing that it has come to completion. It's over. It's over. I'm really feeling like maybe he has gone somewhere. There seemed to be a lot of snow up their noses. When I watch videos, I'm like, there's something going on here. From Invictus, which if they were traveling back and forth with anything like that, yeah. If they got caught, Daddy Trump is not going to find it funny. Is not going to find it funny, but definitely he's feeling overburdened. This would really, if I just pulled this card alone, I would say, oh yeah, he's gone somewhere to rest. Absolutely. But let's have a look at the major past struggle. Was the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, this is our giddy up card. It's a court card. It's high ranking. The past struggle is, sorry, I'm trying to distill a whole bunch of things all at once. Basically, they just dive into things completely unprepared, completely making huge mistakes because they're not prepared. You know, the questions I've been asking is, do they not have a lawyer that they can consult with for due diligence and things like that? Like, I don't understand why they're doing so many stupid things. And on this new website, and I shouldn't even say her new website, the As Ever, we know that's what Neil Sean says, so who knows, maybe he'll have a claim too. That there isn't even like I don't know what it's called. It's like a privacy statement or something. But apparently in the UK and Europe, if you don't have that on your website, you can be fined. So I don't know if that means that any website in the world can be fined by not having that if it's open to European viewers, or if like if you're like a British subject. I don't really understand, but I do know that there's apparently a big deal around that. So they're hammering stuff out incomplete, and it's causing them a lot of problems. I mean, she didn't even check to see if there was another company with the same name. She didn't even check to see if she could name her business after a geographic location. This is why ARO has gone away, because she can't actually use it as a trademarked name. So in terms of the major past struggle, it's that they're stupid. That's just it. They're just dumb. They're not taking good advice from anybody who would actually be good at giving good advice. You know, if I want to do this, I'm going to go to a lawyer and say, hey, like, what do I need to do? I'm not going to have my website designed, thrown up in an afternoon. And it's not hard. It's not hard to create your own website. And somebody like Meghan probably knows exactly how to do that, and she probably hammered out that website that afternoon and has no idea that she needs to have like data collection and privacy policies on it. Excuse me. So this is the problem, is they've gotten themselves into so much trouble over just really rushing into things and not being very stable when they are actually putting something out. Still thinking he's gone somewhere, because it's very overwhelming. And he wasn't raised to do any of this. Like, he wasn't raised in it. He wasn't educated in it. He thought he knew the real world. Huh? I don't even know the real world. Are you kidding me? Pivotal future event, 9 of Swords. Our 9s are always about achievement and accomplishment. And I'm looking up our timings here. June takes us into June. Pivotal future event. Letting go. Opening up, accepting. Oh my gosh. What if he has gone to lay down his burdens somewhere else? He's going to be weighted on hand and foot. He's going to get his head back in shape. as much as it could be, what if then he does a tell-all and gets ahead of Meghan? What if he did that? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's what just came in. Our swords, of course, are about words and thoughts and limiting beliefs and contracts and things like that. The books. The books. Oh my goodness. It's all coming in. The book deal was for 4 books, wasn't it? But he's only written 2. So he still has to write those other 2 books or give the money back. If I'm wrong on that, please someone let me know, because I may have old information. So if someone can confirm that, that would be amazing. What if after he's somewhere? So Sharon, to answer your question, he's somewhere. Having a rest. Delegating his problems to other people. I would not be surprised if I heard that the king is now handling things and setting him up with lawyers and everybody else to get him back on track. Because even if he's never welcomed back into the royal family, I don't care what anybody says about him, about Harry, about whether he'll be welcomed back in the UK, the royal family, blah, 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 blah. He is the king's son. And take that, he's also, Charles's son. So there's a personal relationship plus the institutional relationship. I just don't see a lot of people just how bad it would look if anything happened to Harry and the king didn't try to stop it. I feel like they're in some kind of contact, and that when it really boils down to it, the king will help Harry. Privately, silently, in secret, but I think he will help him. Part of that may be Harry flipping the script and the next book being the tell-all of Meghan. Wouldn't that be interesting? As a response to her divorce book that she's probably already written. Can you imagine? They're duking it out on the bookshelves. Whew. That just came in. What an interesting thought. I've never had that thought before, so I know it's not for me, because listen, I'm not that smart. I'm not smart enough to have come up with that, which is why I love that my angels and my guides and my spirit team are way smarter than I am. Yeah. Okay, so let's return back to this card. It's showing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That although he hasn't accomplished what he set out to accomplish in proving that, he can make it in the real world, I think he definitely, he's maybe now seeing the olive branch, and that is he's going to cling to that to get out of this mess that he's created and allowed. By the way, he sat there on that couch while she did that curtsy, and I'm going to say that was probably one of the most damaging moments of his life, because he could have said, come on, don't do that, don't talk about this. He could have said, please don't include that in the documentary. He could have perhaps taught her how to curtsy. That's a big one. He should also know who is actually required to curtsy to the Queen. I don't believe you have to if you are not a British subject. I don't know that when Melania travels to Buckingham Palace to visit royals, that she has to curtsy to them, because she's not a British subject. So if anybody knows the answer to that question, please let us know in the comments, because I'm not 100%, but I feel like I've heard that somewhere. That if you are, yeah. Okay, we got some research to do, friends. We have some big research to do. Excuse me. But this is very hopeful. which makes me think that, you know, he's laid down his burdens and now he's starting to be able to have some hope. He's starting to, people are starting maybe to offer him some options that aren't going to be as painful as trying to navigate this alone. Okay, overriding concern. 2 of Pentacles, money. Money, 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 money. And so if we're going to look at just Pentacles, this is his home. This is his physical being. This is your children. This is your money, your abundance, your health. Like, there's a lot of stuff. It's the tangible parts of our lives. And so what the overriding concern would be, how in the heck is this man going to balance all of that if he has to go public and admit all kinds of things? Imagine if the truth came out in his book or her book. I don't know. They're going to blame each other, I'm sure. You know, when the whole surrogacy thing or the moonbunt thing becomes public knowledge in these books, if they are written, if I'm right, if I'm on the right track. Imagine if I am. If I'm on the right track here, they're going to blame each other. So he's like, she's nothing, okay? She's a girl in California, like a million other girls in California. He's the king's son. So he has to navigate this. So his big concern is, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this with the least amount of damage to myself? But he needs to start taking advice from people who are much better at this than he is. That will probably be part of him being in hiding. If this is in fact that he has gone into something, not necessarily treatment for drugs and alcohol, but maybe just, you know, there's places you can go, like psychiatric, where, you know, you talk and you rest and you nap and you get some vitamin D and, you know, everybody feels better in the end. So basically some basic care. But there's going to be a lot of decisions that need to be made about physical things, the house. Is he allowed to make huge amounts of money off of the sale of that house? Do they own the house? Or do they rent it and just say they bought it? Really? I mean, who knows, right? I don't. I haven't seen any contracts for the house. There's also going to be decisions that have to be made about the children. And it's either they're going to produce children or not. We're going to see them or we're not going to see them. He cannot go forever hiding these children. If they are, in fact, his children, her children, their children. The comments on the last video say, no, they're not. There's a range of, they're not her children, they're not his children, and there are no children. Like, we're all over the map on this one. That may be part of their game. That may very well be part of their game, is just keep everybody confused and talking about them. Keeps them at the top of the headlines. I don't know. But there'll be a lot of decisions that need to be made about where he's going to live, because everyone will know where he lives, because he's eventually going to have to return to a normal-ish kind of life for him, which is, you know, somebody commented that there's a property being built for him on Edward and Sophie's estate. Well, he's still going to have to exist in the world. Like, he can't hide forever. So there's decisions about that, decisions about the money, decisions about the children, decisions about how he will make money. There's so much, so much. Let's look up at the dates of this. Let's look up the dates. December 22nd to 31st. I don't think he's going to hide that long. I think we're more into the summertime, but this could be where we the rest of us start to see the things that are going on. Oy. Emotional undercurrent. 6 of Wands. We're going to look the timing up. I want to see if there's anything going on right now. That's what I'm looking for here. The 6 of Wands, and that is in reverse. So this is an August timeline, start of August. This is why I'm thinking there could be some, we hear about big changes in the summer, even though there may be big changes happening right now. So just because we don't know about it doesn't mean it's not happening. So let's keep that in mind. For summer dates, right there. So this card in reverse really points to failure. The emotional undercurrent being that he feels like an absolute failure. And he kind of is. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But, you know, sometimes there's a great saying, either you win or you learn. So hopefully he's learned a lot. Hopefully in all of this absolute failure, lack of achievement, the disloyalty, the disgrace that he's brought upon himself, hopefully he's learned a lot from that. I think a lot of people are very disappointed in him, and he knows it. It's really, he can't be avoiding all of this. So, like, he can't be avoiding what's being said, you know, we don't go on the internet. Then why are you trying to ban it? Then why are you trying to censor the internet when you don't even know what's there, pal? So yeah, take your WEF nonsense, your WEF life, and go get treatment. Go get rehabbed from that. How about that? But yeah, he's feeling like an abject failure right now. The fear, the Seven of Pentacles, that the seeds that they've planted are not coming to fruition. That he'll be broke. That nothing he does turns to gold. He does not have the Midas touch. Neither does she, but we're talking about Harry. May 11th to 20th. So this is a bad business management, laziness, waste, procrastination, cash flow problems. Somebody commented that they work like an hour a day. And don't they brag about that? I'm like, okay, running this channel, I work more than an hour a day. How you run a corporation and all these businesses and launches and charities and you only work an hour a day? Really? And you obviously don't have good advisors working more than that. So yeah. So in terms of the fear is that it's all just collapsing. It's all collapsing, which would really cause a bit of a mental health crisis, wouldn't it? Would it not? The obsession. This could be two things. This could be the king. This could be representing the king, king of the jungle, right? But this is also the Donald Trump card. And I know that Donald Trump had said, you know, people were like, oh, are you going to go for Harry? And Donald Trump said, no, he's got enough problems with his wife. I'm going to leave him alone right now. And then literally 3 days later is like, let's see that visa. Let's see the documentation and paperwork from the, what is it? The Heritage Foundation or something like that. I'm not American, so I don't know what all the American stuff is. But his main obsession, I feel like there's two things. Like my guides are like, no, it's both. He's obsessed with trying to speak with his father, get his father's help. Like this, like we could just be looking at the crown as the institution of the royal family, but also the king. But then also he's probably lying awake nights wondering what Donald Trump's going to do to him, especially when we found out last year there was money unaccounted for in their charity, something like $4 million. The IRS is going to want that. And believe me, Elon Musk isn't going to look over that. He's not going to ignore that. He's going to be going for that. But also this visa thing. Yeah. Whew. This boy has a whole pile of problems, doesn't he? So let's look at the desire and driving ambition, the Hermit. I know this is an August card. Because anytime I pull it for a client, like sometimes I'll be like in a bar or a pub or a restaurant, I've got my cards and people will like give me $10, pull a card. And I've done it and it's a lot of fun. And anytime somebody pulls the Hermit, I will say, what happened in August? 100% of the time, they will be like, oh my God, how did you know? And I'm like, because that's the timing of this card. So the desire and the driving ambition is an interesting one when we talk about the Hermit, because the Hermit is about seclusion, having to come to Jesus, taking care of yourself, going into private, going into seclusion to heal, to sort yourself out, lay down your burdens, going into seclusion. I think he's gone somewhere. I'm not going to say that it's drug treatment or rehab, but he's gone somewhere to rest, to heal, to sort himself out, basically, to sort himself out. And this is July, August. Sorry. Yeah. The end of July, August is Leo season. I forgot what was coming in. So this is about seclusion, everything else. But also figuring out how to lead himself. He doesn't know how to lead himself. He went from the cradle of the crown to his wife's arms with nothing in between. He never learned how to actually do real life like the rest of us do. But he thought he could. Like, I don't know where he thought he could. Like, from watching Coronation Street? Like, really? That's not real life either. How many murders have been on that street? Do you see what I'm saying? How did he figure that he would know how to live in the real world? So the driving ambition here would be, and a desire would be to learn how to do that. Like, he's got to. He's never going to be a working royal again. Though he may be trotted out for photo shoots and pat walks and things like that from time to time just to test the temperature of the people. But this is really kind of telling me that, yes, he has gone somewhere. Ooh, interesting cards today. And our final card is the main obstacle. 3 of Cups. But in reverse. Right off the bat, I would say, 3 of Cups in reverse. There's no joy. There's no joy. No joy at all in his life. And it's about overindulgence. And I know we could say overindulgence in drugs and alcohol, blah, 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 allegedly for entertainment purposes only. But it's like canceled celebrations. Like, it's not like people aren't cheering for him. He's not getting the love and the adoration that he used to, because he was, at one time, I think he actually polled being more popular than the Queen. He was the royal. He's the one everybody wanted. And I think that the main obstacle for him is, how is he going to, like, psychologically get from point A to point B? And that healing work of, like, you done effed up. And now he'll have to do a lot of, if he was my client, I would be like, first of all, we need to do forgiveness work. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive everybody around us. I know you don't like the other F word, but that would be where I would suggest starting, because it's when you're clinging on to all of those emotions, it's really hard to move forward in a healthy way. So there's a lot of stuff, but definitely overindulgence coming in, and it could just be an overindulgence of himself and his nonsense, his own stupidity. That's really what it could be. But we could be like, again, the reports were coming out of Invictus, allegedly, that he was drinking a lot. And if you, the moment where Meghan was reading books to children or something, really? We needed some snowflakes to be able to do that. Up our nose. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was kind of obvious at that point what was going on, which is a crime in Canada, by the way. Not that Canada takes crime very seriously right now. This is, there's a cheating element here. But I just don't know that it's him sort of out of the blue. If he's been cheating, it's been going on the whole time, allegedly. My opinion. But her, that could be a whole different story. That could be in his book. the Flip the Script book. He should just call it Flipping the Script. We're trademarking that right now. See, we're getting ahead of it. We're getting ahead of it. All right, interesting. So to answer your question, Sharon, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. That 10 of Wands and the Hermit really kind of point to, yeah, he's somewhere resting and getting the help that he needs. This could be a case of his father has demanded this and basically sent people to get him, put him somewhere and rehab this child. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's return to this groupie card because I'm kind of interested about it. He would have had a lot of opportunities at Invictus. All right, so let's see. I have my little chart here. Excuse me. I've got these. See, I did this. I made a whole chart of what they all mean. It came with a little book. These tokens. Fun fact, I'm in my 50s and I need things bigger print. So I don't want to be carrying a magnifying glass around. So I typed them all out and printed them bigger so that I can actually do this without my glasses, without magnifying glass, anything else. So that's why I have these, and they're really cool. I laminated them and everything. I'm doing my arts and crafts, just like Meghan. Just like Meghan. Okay, so we have number 79, and I don't have them memorized, which is why I have a chart. Movie projector. Nostalgia, replaying old memories. Oh my goodness. Could this be someone from the past? Could it be someone from the past? Or was he having some fun at Invictus because he was tapping into who he used to be, the excuse me, the bachelor, the one everybody wanted to be around, the most popular royal. Did he have a little bit of fun because it reminded him of his youth? Like, think about it. If you're out in the world without your spouse, your partner, whatever, and someone flirts with you, yeah, that might feel pretty good. That might feel really good and remind you of who you used to be. Like whenever I go out in the world and I'm all dolled up and some man hits on me or buys me a drink or whatever, even though I'm married and I ain't going anywhere, I'm still like, I've still got it. I've still got it, even at my age, right? So yeah, he's probably had some fun, and it's reminded him of what he walked away from. Because, he had the life of Riley, didn't he? He could just do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. He had to show up and cut a ribbon every once in a while. Never had to think about money. Never had to make decisions for himself, anything like that. Like, that's a pretty attractive daydream for a lot of people. And even myself, I'm very happily married. I love my husband. I love my family. I love my life. But sometimes, occasionally, on the hardest days of just life, I'm like, I used to be a lot of fun. I used to fly in private planes and luxury cars. I used to eat at the best restaurants in the city. And, would I trade my life for that? No. But sometimes it's, fun to look back. It's fun to look back. 134. Family. Dealing with family members. Both sides. Meghan, the one he created, allegedly, and the one he left. So yeah, he's got a lot of stuff to sift through. Oh, I just had something. What if the family kind of set him up a little bit with somebody like that he doesn't know, that, whatever groupie was hanging off of him, that they're a ringer. They were sent there to make him see, you have other options. There's other things you could be doing. That'd be really interesting. I don't know what this card wants us to know. Excuse me. And number 9, Lantern, inner journey and solitude, seeking the light within, the Hermit. I could see that if he did do something untoward, maybe a little cheaty, sneaky action in Invictus, for entertainment purposes only, I could see him, if he's never done that before, I could see him really kind of having to retreat within himself and do some soul searching. Let's pull a couple charms. You know what? I'm gonna, oh, I can't reach it. It's okay. We'll do it like this. It's all good. We will do it like this. Let's give these a good little shaky shake. And we got this one too. The sun. Let me just, oh, they're not numbered. The letter. Where are we here? Sorry. Okay, we'll start here because I just found it. The Pentacle. What number is the Pentacle? 23. Thank you. I'm looking on the wrong page. Sorry. See, I made the charts of these ones too. Okay. Material, money, health, physical health. The Pentacle represents the material, physical side of humans as well as the magic of creating tangible things. It can also represent good or bad physical health. I can imagine the stress this man is under is literally deteriorating him from the inside out. But also, take us back to that Two of Pentacles and his physical life. There's a lot of decisions to be made. Excuse me. The Sun, number 31, success, recognition, happiness, joy, luck. It represents vitality and how to generate our energy. It can also represent a new form of recognition or positive action. So maybe he is trying to look for a new life, a new something. Like, can you imagine if he shagged somebody at Invictus, like just a random groupie stranger, he shagged them? Like, what's that going to feel like? He's going to be like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Like, that could be the pivotal moment. Could very well be the pivotal moment. And then what do we have here? Was there a letter? Excuse me. I keep coughing. I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh, the envelope is communication, connection, and unexpected news. And the envelope suggests an important message or opportunity is on its way. Interesting. I really think he's been in communication with his father, or he's really trying hard to be. I don't know what happened with the groupie. What do you think happened? Do you think there was someone? Do you think a little something happened? I would love to know. I would love to hear. Thank you to Sharon for the question and for this reading. It is a very long one. Oh my gosh, we're going to be here all day. But I kind of wanted to explore this from a few different angles. Thank you so much. If you're still here, thank you so much for hanging out this long with me. I think he's in treatment of some kind. Absolutely. And I think something happened after Meghan left that was a pivotal moment for him. Absolutely. And it's affecting family. There's all kinds of stuff. And the Hermit, like we've got the Hermit twice now. So yeah. Thanks for hanging around. Don't forget to click subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. I can't wait for this conversation. And yeah, if want me to read on something else, like another question, let me know, and we can do it. I normally only read on Harry and Meghan once a month, but this question came up, and I was like, I think we need to explore it while it's fresh. Thank you so much, and have a magical day.